What is going on, everybody? This is Mike Hughes, and you're listening to Mike on the Mic and everything Chicago sports related podcast. Happy New Year's, everybody watching this right now. Obviously, it's 11:45, so we got about 15 minutes until 2024. But it was a great ending. It was a great ending to a phenomenal year. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you guys for rocking with me. Thank you guys for always being here. I feel like I need a hat. I'm not rocking with the haircut today. I got the white boy fade going on. But nah, man. I mean, an amazing ending to the 2023 season for the Chicago Bears. Obviously, we still have one game left against Green Bay, and it's always going to be fuck Green Bay. So I can't wait for our Super Bowl next week because it's going to be hell. We're going to give them hell. The Green Bay Packers right now, if I'm not mistaken, are 8-8. So we got a lot to prove. This is kind of like the Detroit Lions of 2022. We know we're probably out of it. We know we're out of it, actually. We're going to get into that in a little bit later. But we could capitalize it off with a great win. A great win to finish the season off 8-9. I'm excited about it. It could be a really exciting game. It honestly, it might be the game of the year for the Chicago Bears if we could pull out that win. But, nonetheless, an amazing game for the Chicago Bears today as the Chicago Bears defeated Justin Fields' hometown team, the Atlanta Falcons, 37-17 in an amazing fashion. The Bears had themselves a day, man. I mean, it was just a great game all around. Obviously, we've seen a very inconsistent Atlanta Falcons team this year. There's times where they look like a playoff-proven team, and there's other times where they kind of just look like they don't know their head from their ass. And that's really the kindest way to say it. Taylor Heineke on the day is 10 for 29, 163 yards passing, 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions, whereas Justin Fields, 20 for 32, 268 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and over 313 yards in total, as well as rushing. Khalil Herbert had himself a day, 18 carries for 124 yards and 1 rushing touchdown. DJ Moore, 9 receptions for 159 yards and 1 touchdown as well. The Bears offense on all cylinders just looked phenomenal. They were going for it on 4th down. They were doing everything you wanted them to do. It was great to see this team really come together towards the end of a season that obviously we already know is over. But, at the end of the day, you just want to see progress. You just want to see progress, and you just want to see a team that's willing to fight for each other. And that's exactly what we saw. It's really coming down to that at the end of the day for me to do these guys still believe in each other? Do these guys want to go to war for each other? And that's what we've seen so far, man. I mean, we've seen a team that wants to fight. We've seen a team that wants to continue to grow. And what I love the most is not only the post-game interview with Justin Fields, but what we saw from the Chicago Bears fans all around Soldier Field. I'm going to play the audio really quickly because I do think it's important. If you're watching this on TikTok, obviously you can't see it. But I think it's really cool, and it's just so special. We have the fans in in Soldier Field, pardon me, are cheering, "We want Fields." And I thought it was really dope. Here's the video. And it's something you're not typically used to seeing, man. I mean, look at what we've had throughout the last 10, 15 years. You're looking at guys like Kyle Orton, Rex Grossman, Jay Cutler, Mitch Trubisky, Andy Dalton, Nick Foles. These guys get ran out of town by week 13. You know what I mean? And we got Mitch Trubisky out here saying you got to turn off the TVs at Bears practice because he can't handle the noise. Justin Fields has won over the hearts of Chicago Bears fans. Letting Brian Poles and the Chicago Bears organization know we don't want another quarterback, man. We don't want another quarterback. That's not how we're rocking out. We believe in Justin Fields and we believe in what he's doing. And I'm really excited to see what that means for him and his development moving forward going into year 4. Now, last night I did a show talking about Matt Eberflus potentially returning as the head coach of the Chicago Bears next year. I do think it is a issue that this will be his presumably, if Luke Getsy is fired, which we all imagine that he will be, this will be Justin Fields' 4th offensive coordinator in 4 seasons. You will obviously have the new offensive coordinator for 2024, Luke Getsy in 2023 and 2022. You're looking at, I think that was 2022 was also Luke Getsy, but 2021 you had Bill Lazor and Matt Nagy. So that's Nagy, Lazor, Getsy, and whoever the 4th one is. So you obviously have a lot of different styles of offenses for Justin Fields in the first 4 years of his development. And all I could say at the end of it was shout out to the kid for making plays happen, even though none of those offensive play callings were great. And even the situations with the offensive line and lack of having receivers, there was a lot of it that you had to question and you had to sit up here and say, what's going to happen for the Chicago Bears moving forward. And one thing I don't want to happen for the Chicago Bears in 2024 is the revolving door of offensive coordinators. We've talked about it before. Jay Cutler in 6 seasons had 8 offensive coordinators, something crazy like that, and like 7 of them were first-time offensive coordinators. So that's definitely an issue. That's definitely something we don't want to see moving forward, and something that I definitely think the team needs to address. We need a guy who's been in the league. We need a guy who understands what it takes to win, and what we need to do as a unit, as a organization, to just bring in offensive minded guys, football minded guys who understand the game. And that's really what it comes down to. But nonetheless, we got some news today as well. On top of the win, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about the Chicago Bears win. I mean, the Chicago Bears ended 2023 in such a Chicago Bears fashion. It was a roller coaster of emotions. Justin Fields gets cheered for at Soldier Field. The Bears get a phenomenal win, probably their best offensive game so far this year, ever since the Washington Commanders game. We get the number 1 overall pick, clinch the number 1 overall pick from the Carolina Panthers, who lost yet another game. I believe they're 2-14 now, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. And at the very end of the night, you find out that the Bears have been eliminated from the playoffs. So it's a roller coaster of emotions. There's a lot of different things you can feel. But right now, if I'm the Chicago Bears, listen, point blank period, Marvin Harrison Jr. is the future of Chicago Bears football. There's no way around it. There's no other conversation that I want to have. Marvin Harrison Jr. is the future of the Chicago Bears. That point blank period. Because listen, here's the conversation. In 2022, there were so many different holes on this team. So many different holes on this team. We can go all day long. That's really what it is. We didn't have a pass rush. We had question marks at the defensive line. We had question marks at corner. We had question marks at receiver. We had question marks on the offensive line. We didn't know what we had. Now you're starting to see, okay, we brought in Montez Sweat, Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards. We have the number 1 rushing defense. That's not an overstatement. We had the number 1 run stopping defense in the league. Andrew Billings, Javon Dexter. These guys have panned out. Kyler Gordon, Tyreek Stevenson, Jalen Johnson. Jaquan Brisker stayed healthy. Eddie Jackson looked a lot better at the pass rush, and obviously having Matt Eberflus as a coordinator. We've seen a much better team. We've seen a much better team. We've seen a team that's more alive. The defense, in my opinion, is complete. Maybe the one weak spot, no disrespect, the one weak spot might be a guy like Jack Sanborn, maybe a guy like Javon Dexter Sr. And those guys are still developing into who they could potentially be. So I'm not going to rule those guys out either. We have a great defense, if not a top 5 defense. You look at the offense and it's like, all right, outside of Luke Getsy, what do we have? Because we know we don't got an offensive coordinator, but we have DJ Moore. We have Justin Fields, Roshan Johnson, Khalil Herbert, Tyler Scott, Cole Kmet. You obviously have guys like Braxton Jones that you're proud of, Tevin Jenkins, who had a Pro Bowl caliber year, if we're going to be completely honest. And then you have an amazing rookie in Darnell Wright. So really what I'm looking at right now is you need an X factor and a center. You definitely need a center, but you need that X factor on this team. And that is Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't care if you want to go back in the draft. Oh, well, yeah, we could trade back and get more assets. We don't need more assets. We already have assets from the Carolina Panthers and other organizations. We are exactly where we need to be. Now, what you need is that Jamar Chase, that Devontae Adams, that Justin Jefferson caliber player, and that is Marvin Harrison Jr. There's no way around it. If the Chicago Bears don't draft Marvin Harrison Jr., it has to be the greatest trade in NFL history, not just for the Bears, in NFL history. We need to fleece whoever trades for the number 1 overall pick. That's how serious I am about Marvin. Marvin is a monster. And the history that comes with that. I mean, his dad beat us in 06 with Peyton Manning on the Colts, beats the Bears in the Super Bowl. His son is spawned in the Midwest and is now potentially going to be a Chicago Bear. That's just writing the history. Right the wrong of beating the Bears in 06. Let's right the wrong. Come win a Super Bowl in Chicago. There's no way around it, man. If you want to trade the second first-round pick we have, that's our own, which is likely somewhere sitting right now, if I'm not mistaken, at 9 or 10. Could finish off at 10 to 12. I mean, at the end of the day, man, let's be real. Marvin Harrison Jr. is better than any other guys you bring in. You can get 3 first-round picks for the number 1 overall pick this year. And I promise you, none of those guys are Marvin Harrison Jr. And I'll stand 10 toes on that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If Caleb Williams is the next greatest quarterback of all time, cool. I'll own that one. Because Marvin Harrison Jr., what I've seen from Marvin Harrison Jr., he's a fucking monster. There's no way around that. There's no way around that whatsoever. But, man, I mean, there's so many different ways this can go. There's so many different conversations. My brother Rob Scott's in the comments right now. He says, Happy New Year, brother. Brother, it was a complete blessing to meet you 2-3 years ago. And what we accomplished together in 2022, 2023, man, I hold that to my heart, and I can't wait for next year. I also appreciate everybody hitting that follow button if you've already hit it. I appreciate you so much for joining the community towards the end of this year. If you haven't already, come on, man, smack it for the one time. Come on, it's New Year's. It's New Year's. Be generous. You know what I mean? No, man, but we had a goal. We had a goal this year, and that was 10,000 followers, and we have hit 14.3. That is, man, it's such a blessing, and I appreciate every single one of y'all, man. And I thought maybe we could get to 15K by the end of New Year's, but that'll have to be a treat for 2024. Hopefully, we can meet that goal sometime very soon. Happy New Year's to everybody in the comments as well. I appreciate everybody. We're about 4 minutes away until New Year's, so I'm about to get out of here. But I'm excited, man. We're gonna be talking Bears all week long. Rob and I are gonna be doing our show, Welcome to Mars. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be really exciting. I can't wait to continue it, man. Bears football is back. Let's be real, man. Bears football is back. We're better than ever. And I'm pumped. I'm pumped. There's no way around it. So until then, man, I appreciate you guys for listening. I appreciate you guys for being here. Until next time, Happy New Year. Be safe. Be beautiful. Be lovely. Let's rock out in 2024. Peace.